Have you ever felt that crushing wave of déjà vu, that sickening sensation when a story you desperately hoped would have a different ending instead replays the same old, heartbreaking narrative? For basketball fans, and especially for the Los Angeles Lakers, that feeling is becoming an all-too-familiar companion this offseason. Just as a glimmer of hope emerged for bolstering their frontcourt, a potential blockbuster deal involving the Portland Trail Blazers' enigmatic center, Robert Williams III, appears to be collapsing before it even truly began. How many times must we witness the tantalizing promise of elite talent overshadowed and ultimately derailed by the relentless, unforgiving specter of injury? The Lakers, ever in pursuit of the pieces that can propel them back to the pinnacle of the NBA, have been meticulously scouting options to fortify their roster. With Deandre Ayton firmly entrenched as their starting center, the focus has naturally shifted to finding a reliable, impactful backup, a player who can provide crucial minutes, protect the rim, and offer a dynamic presence in the paint. Enter Robert Williams III, a name that, on paper, conjures images of ferocious blocks, thunderous dunks, and an almost magnetic pull to the basketball. He possesses a rare blend of athleticism and defensive instinct that, when unleashed, can genuinely alter the complexion of a game. For a team like the Lakers, seeking to maximize their championship window, the idea of acquiring a player of Williams' theoretical caliber, potentially as a steal, was undoubtedly alluring. However, the whispers have begun, and in the high-stakes world of NBA transactions, whispers about a player's health can quickly become deafening roars, capable of shattering even the most promising of trade discussions. According to Anthony Irwin of Clutch Points, a well-connected voice in the league, the concern that has plagued Williams throughout his career has resurfaced with alarming immediacy. Irwin reports that Williams may already be banged up, a phrase that sends shivers down the spine of any general manager considering his acquisition. Given his extensive and well-documented injury history, these fresh whispers are not just a minor setback, they are a major red flag, causing the Lakers to pump the brakes on any potential deal. The team, understandably, is wary of trading for him, a sentiment that speaks volumes about the fragility of his availability. This isn't merely a case of bad luck. It's a pattern that has tragically defined Robert Williams III's professional journey. Still only 27 years old, a prime age for many NBA big men, Williams has spent an agonizing amount of time on the sidelines over the past 3 regular seasons, a period that should have been his athletic peak. The talented Texas A&M product has appeared in a paltry 61 out of a possible 246 games. Let that sink in for a moment. 61 games out of 246. That's less than 25% of the available contests. It has been a brutal, soul-crushing stretch, one that has unfortunately become the defining characteristic of his time with both the Boston Celtics and more recently the Portland Trail Blazers. Since being traded from the Celtics to the Blazers in the summer of 2023, the situation has shown little improvement. Williams has managed to appear in just 26 total games for Portland, with only 20 of those coming last season. When he has been on the court, the flashes of brilliance are undeniable. His per-game numbers last season were solid, even impressive, for the limited minutes he played. 5.8 points on an efficient 64.1% shooting from the field, 5.9 rebounds, 1.7 blocks, 1.1 assists, and 0.7 steals. These statistics paint a picture of a highly impactful player, a defensive anchor, and a lob threat who can elevate an offense. But the cruel reality, the one that overshadows every positive contribution, is that none of those numbers truly matter if the player cannot stay healthy enough to consistently contribute. And the Lakers, with their championship aspirations and limited resources, are reportedly taking this harsh truth into account with every fiber of their organizational being. The financial implications of Williams' injury woes are also significant. He is currently entering the final year of his contract, set to earn $13.3 million in the 2025-26 season. Over his NBA career, he has accumulated a substantial $48 million in earnings. However, with such a spotty health record, The likelihood of him playing out that deal in Portland or being traded for significant assets is diminishing rapidly. It's becoming increasingly probable that he will either finish his current contract with the Blazers or, perhaps more likely, find himself waived and available next summer on a veteran minimum deal. This stark reality underscores the precipitous drop in his trade value. What might have once been a cornerstone piece has become a high-risk, high-reward gamble that most teams, especially those with immediate championship goals, are simply unwilling to take on. The Lakers' need for front-court depth behind Deandre Ayton remains a pressing concern. Their current rotation still lacks that reliable rim protector off the bench, a player who can deter opponents at the basket, clean up the boards, and provide a vertical threat on offense. On paper, as mentioned, Robert Williams III could have been that elusive steal. His career averages over 6 seasons with the Celtics and Blazers: 7.2 points, 6.8 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 0.7 steals, and an elite 1.7 blocks across 235 games. Highlight his immense potential. When healthy, he offers truly elite rim protection, a disruptive defensive presence, and an infectious energy that can galvanize a team. But that crucial caveat, when healthy, has become the inescapable sticking point, the insurmountable barrier preventing him from reaching his full potential and commanding the trade value his talent otherwise warrants. From Portland's perspective, the situation is also complex. The Trail Blazers possess a plethora of young centers, a crowded frontcourt that makes Williams, despite his talent, somewhat expendable, particularly given his injury history and expiring contract. The idea of moving him to a contender like the Lakers, even for a modest return, would allow them to clear salary, open up minutes for their developing bigs, and potentially acquire assets that align better with their rebuilding timeline. For the Lakers, the tantalizing prospect of pairing Williams' lob threat capabilities with the visionary passing of Luka Doncic, a dynamic duo that could unlock new dimensions for their offense, made this a truly intriguing proposition. On paper, it had all the makings of a rare win-win trade, a perfect synergy of needs and available talent. Instead, what we are witnessing is a familiar, disheartening narrative. The potential trade, once a beacon of hope for Lakers fans eager to see their team strengthen, is now starting to look like a non-starter. The whispers of a new injury, layered upon an already extensive history of setbacks, have created an insurmountable barrier. It's a harsh reminder that in the unforgiving world of professional sports, talent alone is often not enough. Availability, consistency, and the ability to withstand the grueling demands of an 82-game season are just as crucial, if not more so, than raw skill. Robert Williams III remains a player of immense talent, but until he can consistently stay on the court, his value in the trade market will continue to be overshadowed by the ever-present question mark of his health. The Lakers, it seems, are unwilling to gamble on that question mark, leaving them to continue their search for that elusive, reliable frontcourt depth. What's your take on this unfortunate turn of events, Lakers Nation? Is it wise for the Lakers to back away from a talent like Robert Williams III, even with his injury history? Or should they have taken the gamble for his undeniable upside? How do you think the Lakers should address their frontcourt depth now? Share your thoughts, your frustrations, and your alternative solutions in the comments below. Let's dissect this. And if you felt the weight of this recurring injury narrative, or if you're just as frustrated as we are by this development, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next deep dive into the ever unpredictable world of NBA free agency.